pero preguntarle a Messi si juega. ¿Qué le digo? ¿Le digo que le dé para adelante? ¿Que saque los pasajes o que espere?
Y todavía no sabemos para dónde. Todavía
no, él me dice,
el sorteo
saco hotel y...
Few people expected Lionel Messi to finally break his silence in response to Cristiano Ronaldo's recent comments. But what really shocked everyone was how he responded. And the best part, you're about to find out exactly what Messi said to Ronaldo. And it's going to surprise you. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because what comes next is absolutely unmissable. I've noticed you all want more and more videos about Messi, and honestly, that excites me. But I'm still debating whether I should focus 80% of the content on him and 20% on FC Barcelona. So help me out. Drop a comment below and tell me what kind of videos you want to see on the channel. Your feedback will shape what's coming next. Now, let's be real. Can you imagine Messi's biggest rival, Cristiano Ronaldo, sitting on a fancy sofa, looking at a journalist and calmly saying, I admit, Lionel Messi is the true GOAT. He's better than me. In terms of genius, vision and individual awards, he surpasses me. And there's nothing fairer than acknowledging that. I'm proud to have come close to his level and to have shared over 15 years at the top. It's almost impossible to picture something like that coming from Cristiano Ronaldo. He's extremely competitive, driven by ambition, a machine programmed to win. Admitting something like this would be like tearing a piece of himself away. Even if deep down he felt this way privately, he could never say it out loud. To the world, it would be almost a betrayal, especially to his most loyal fans across the globe. And here's the part most people don't see. I imagine that in a moment of absolute silence, maybe in his sauna, staring at his golden mirror sponsored by MBS, Cristiano Ronaldo must have thought to himself that Messi was a nightmare for his career. Something that still haunts him to this day. His obsession with talking about Messi proves it. Dreaming of more Ballon d'Ors, more titles, more glory. That's normal for someone so competitive. But he knows with total clarity that Messi was the biggest obstacle between him and the title of greatest player of all time. A crown he still chases, but one that became almost unreachable after moving to the Saudi League.
I want to finish in the top level. I want to finish with dignity. So good, in a good club. Yeah. Doesn't mean that to go USA or Qatar or Dubai, it's not good, but I don't see myself.
You wouldn't want that for you?
No.
Al Nassr forever.
And that's exactly why any public admission that Messi is the GOAT would be unthinkable. Because it would shake everything Ronaldo has built, his image, his legacy, and a legion of fans who would never accept hearing something like that come from his mouth, not to mention the blow it would deal to his ego. First and foremost, it's only fair to recognize how much Messi is being rewarded after so many bitter defeats in World Cups. Had he overcome all those obstacles, we might be talking about a player with 5 World Cup titles today, but the only World Cup he won was arguably the most deserved. If Messi was the standout of the tournament in the World Cup, it's no different in the MLS. Now, living arguably the best moment of his career at Inter Miami, Messi has become the center of attention in American soccer. Even Moreno admitted, Messi is the face of the MLS. When people think of the league, they immediately think of him. It's hard to imagine how American soccer will enter the post-Messi era.
Lionel Messi back-to-back with the Landon Donovan MVP award after an outstanding season.
Did anybody have an objection to it being Lionel Messi? Did we think it was going to be somebody else?
Well, who are the finalists? It doesn't matter. It's a fair question.
Andres Gaia is one of them.
As many good seasons as there might have been from this other individual players, it really just doesn't matter. The season by Lionel Messi speaks for itself. And even if he had been somewhat in the same neighborhood as some of the other names, those guys were never, ever going to win it ahead of Lionel Messi. So it is well-deserved for Lionel Messi. It was a runaway. This is a tap-in. It's a layup. It's my kind of range. He's shooting fish in a barrel. I don't know what to tell you. This was a slam dunk. It was done. It was always going to be Lionel Messi, so no surprise for anybody, nor should they be. He deserved to win the award.
Last year you had some people, I wasn't one of them, I don't know if Ali was one of them, who were saying Messi only played 19 games. He can't win MVP of Major League Soccer. He only played 19 games. Newsflash, he scored more goals than anybody. He had more goal contributions than anybody in Major League Soccer. In 19 games, what does that tell you? There is no, maybe you shouldn't give it to him this year. Clearly the front runner, clearly the best player in the league. We didn't need the stats to really tell us that. The eye test will tell you. Just ran away with it. And, well, his postseason numbers, he was involved in practically every single goal that Inter Miami scored in the postseason. And you crown it off with the ultimate prize, which is the trophy. It's just icing on the cake. It's the Lionel Messi MVP award now.
And Lionel Messi is always at the center of every piece of news that comes out of Major League Soccer. But in the case of this season in particular, the piece of news that were coming out of seemingly every weekend was Lionel Messi scored 2 goals and assisted in a couple others. Lionel Messi had a hat trick. Lionel Messi did. It's about the productivity. And beyond what and while I agree that the eye test tells you everything that you need to know, the numbers are there. Yeah. And you just watch the games that he's involved in, and you can still see the level of dominance that he has over everybody else, the level of respect that he has over everybody else, and the level of fear that he has from other players in Major League Soccer. It is clear to see, again, this was a runaway.
He's 38 years old. He's 38 years old, and he's having this type of season. Oh, by the way, in a season where he was punished for not playing in an All-Star game. Yeah. Who knows how many more goals and assists he would have padded on that record. I shouldn't be amazed, but yet I am. I remember being 33 years old and saying, well, this is getting difficult physically. He's 38 years old, and he's making players half his age who are, in most cases, physically more dominant than he is, look amateurish.
Yeah, and the assists that he gives to 24, by the way, in the MLS regular season, those stats that you guys were talking about, 35 goals in 33 games, and it seemed like if the season was just a little bit longer, it's long enough, right? But a little bit longer, he would have just had these ridiculous stats still stacking and stacking up.
After celebrating with family, friends and teammates, Messi finally responded to Ronaldo, but not in the way many imagined. This conversation gained momentum after that infamous interview in which Cristiano Ronaldo, sitting on a couch with Piers Morgan, made a statement that sounded like a shocking admission about Messi's World Cup victory.
Maybe I was surprised with my answer.
Many thought that in that moment, Ronaldo would finally acknowledge the magnitude of Messi's achievement, the effort, determination, leadership and individual brilliance that made him the best player of a World Cup, even at an age considered late for elite football. If Messi had been on that couch, many believe he would have praised Ronaldo's effort, highlighting his discipline and obsession with winning the sport's greatest trophy. But that's not what happened. Instead of honoring the World Cup, the biggest title in sports, the event that literally stops the planet, Ronaldo downplayed its importance, claiming there are too few games for it to serve as a valid criterion in the debate about the greatest player of all time.
If you ask me, Cristiano, is it a dream to win the World Cup? No, it's not a dream. Really? Yes.
In practice, it seemed he was dismissing the very achievement that defined Messi's career. And all of this was said in front of Piers Morgan, an interviewer known for agreeing with almost everything Ronaldo says, though off-camera, he posts statements like this on Twitter. He considers it unfair. You know why? Because the World Cup was the only trophy missing from Messi's collection. And even without it, much of the football world already regarded him as the greatest of all time. Institutions, players, coaches, journalists and fans alike. When he finally lifted the trophy, Messi only reinforced what many had already believed. And this is precisely where the sensitivity of the topic comes in for Cristiano Ronaldo. In the rivalry narrative, many interpret that he constantly tries to counter Messi's achievements, whether by comparing awards, statistics, or leagues.
For example, when he had more European golden shoes, Ronaldo claimed that award was more important than the Ballon d'Or. Then Messi surpassed him, winning 6 compared to Ronaldo's 4. Later, as new awards emerged, the discussion continued. Many saw this as part of the ongoing battle when Ronaldo suggested the Ballon d'Or had lost credibility, just like some of his recent comments that downplayed the importance of the World Cup in the debate over who is the best of all time. This narrative battle doesn't only involve Messi. Pele's name always comes up. Ronaldo even dismissed Pele's 1,000 goals, claiming there's no video proof, unlike the goals he himself pursues, all of which are captured on camera as evidence of his achievements.
Cristiano Ronaldo is excellent, but his score is a 4.
Yeah.
You know? And Messi, he scored a goal, okay, but he's more for the organized team. They play, you know. Then I say, okay, both is fantastic, you know, but you cannot compare. To me, the last 15 years, no doubt, Messi is the best player.
In the end, all of this reveals the depth of Ronaldo's frustration with Lionel Messi. Ronaldo's statement demeaning the World Cup didn't just surprise Piers Morgan, FIFA, the football community, players, journalists, and fans. It also surprised Messi himself. And do you know what Messi did when he saw it? He responded elegantly, without even mentioning Ronaldo, making it clear to the next generation that yes, the World Cup is the greatest tournament in the world and the ultimate dream of any player. The World Cup is the stage that stops the planet. Millions of people fill stadiums, crowd into bars, gather with family in front of their TVs, and cheer as if a single goal could change their lives. Messi knows the full weight of this moment. the weight of both pain and joy. He experienced both. He caused tears of frustration and, years later, tears of pure happiness. He felt the world collapse on his shoulders and then felt the same world kneel before his triumph. It's this emotional roller coaster, the highs and lows, that only a few players experience at this level. Cristiano Ronaldo has also known triumphs and setbacks, but Messi experienced something unique, carrying an entire nation for nearly 2 decades, being criticized, doubted, and ultimately lifting Argentina to the pinnacle of world football. This is the difference that only the World Cup can create, a pain few know, and a glory even fewer get to touch. Messi was the standout of the 2014 World Cup. He carried Argentina all the way to the final, but that goal by Gatza in extra time was like a punch to the stomach. I still remember my own frustration in that moment. Now imagine Messi's, carrying the weight of an entire country on his shoulders. And you, what was your reaction that day? Write it in the comments. For Messi, that was perhaps the most painful defeat of his career, a final lost by mere inches. But football always has something special for those who never give up. What Messi didn't know was that something far greater, far more beautiful, was on its way. In 2022, he finally lived the moment the whole world had been waiting for. He lifted football's most coveted trophy and fulfilled a lifelong dream. It was the ultimate crowning achievement, the reward for years of struggle, pressure, and perseverance. And the most remarkable part, on that day, millions around the globe were cheering for Messi. Not just Argentinians, fans from many countries, including Brazil, historically Argentina's rivals, set aside their rivalry and supported the number 10. Messi did not disappoint. He won, he shone, he cried, and he experienced the greatest joy of his career. Now, Messi has spoken, for the first time, about his expectations of playing in the next World Cup with the Argentina national team, aiming to defend the title they won in Qatar in 2022. He told NBC, "It's extraordinary to be able to play in a World Cup, and I would love to do it. I would like to be there, be in good shape, and be an important part of helping my team if I get there. I'll evaluate it day by day when preseason starts next year with Inter Miami, and I'll see if I can really be at 100%, if I can be useful to the group, to the national team, and then I'll make a decision. Obviously, I really want to go because it's a World Cup." Messi said this with a tone that seemed to convey to the interviewer, "This is the World Cup, the most important tournament any player could dream of participating in." He continued, "We just won the last World Cup, and being able to defend it on the field again is something spectacular, because it's always a dream to play for your national team, especially in official competitions." Messi then indirectly responded to Ronaldo's comments about the World Cup without mentioning him by name. "It's also true that it was the only thing missing at the professional level, because I've been lucky to win everything, both individually and collectively with Barcelona. And I believe that's every player's dream. When you ask a player what their dream is, they say, to be a World Cup champion," concluded the Barcelona legend. Messi is the right person to inspire young players to never give up and to maintain their competitive spirit in a World Cup, because he understands the value of the greatest trophy an international player can achieve. Ronaldo, on the other hand, is not the best reference in this regard, as he tends to focus primarily on himself. The curious part is that he knows thousands of players look up to him, and that's precisely why his statements can be problematic. Many young talents, like Mbappe and Haaland, aspire to follow in the footsteps of Messi and Ronaldo, seeking dedication, hard work, and glory. Ronaldo is an example of discipline and professionalism, and his words carry weight, especially among the next generation of players. However, by downplaying achievements like the World Cup, he can unintentionally influence young players in a negative way. The World Cup was once a central goal for him. Now, some of his statements suggest he's trying to diminish the tournament's value because of Messi's victory. If Ronaldo starts saying the World Cup doesn't matter, it could reduce the ambition and commitment of young players who dream of winning it, weakening the essence of the competition and diminishing the prestige of the greatest prize any player can achieve. In the end, reckless statements have real consequences. This isn't about criticizing Ronaldo, it's about recognizing that his words influence millions of young players around the world. Minimizing the impact of winning a World Cup could discourage the next generation of talents who could be inspired by the magic and greatness of the tournament. Before making bombastic statements, Ronaldo should consider the effect his words have on the future of football and the dreams of millions of players. Sometimes, he needs to put his obsession with Messi aside. That's why it was so important for Messi to reinforce the significance of the World Cup in a player's career, when he said, "I was lucky to achieve everything, both individually and collectively, with Barcelona. And I believe that's every player's dream. When you ask a player what their dream is, they answer, to be a World Cup champion." This statement not only highlights the value of football's most coveted trophy, but it also reignites the dreams of young players who still aspire to win a World Cup. Even those who admire Ronaldo now have a moment to reflect before blindly accepting everything he says, like Piers Morgan does. Moreover, more observant players can see that many of Ronaldo's criticisms of Messi stem from an obsession, the frustration of not being able to claim the title of GOAT, while Messi continues to shine. Today, it seems all Ronaldo has left are interviews with Piers Morgan and public rants about the Argentine. Even other players and coaches are starting to notice this fixation. Villarreal winger Nicolas Pepe has been openly critical of Ronaldo for constantly bringing up Messi in interviews. Pepe made it clear, the debate over who is the greatest of all time is already settled. He said Cristiano Ronaldo gives so many interviews and talks a lot about Messi, and that's how you see he's number 2. Ronaldo moved to Saudi Arabia and only scored 200 penalties to reach 1,000 goals. Pepe even compared Messi and Ronaldo to anime characters, saying, "Do you know Naruto or Dragon Ball Z? You know Vegeta, right? He was always angry, always complaining." Who wasn't complaining? Goku. In Naruto, who talked a lot? Sasuke. Who didn't? Naruto. That's it. Messi is Naruto, Cristiano is Sasuke. Vegeta is Cristiano. He's frustrated that someone smaller Goku is ahead of him. 1,000 goals? Since moving to Al Nassr, he scored 200 penalties. Messi knows how to score, pass, dribble, make the team play, create space for teammates. Messi does that, Cristiano doesn't. Messi has even celebrated his goals like he was in Dragon Ball Z.
Messi or Ronaldo?
A good old question, both of them. Both are performing, they're producing still numbers. For me, more impressive is Messi because his style of playing the game is a little bit more magical, more pure talent. The work ethic from Ronaldo is outstanding and maybe even better than Messi's, but to watch Messi playing our game is just, it's not unbelievable because I know what he's able to do week in and week out. So for me, it's not unbelievable, but it's very impressive.
When it comes to who is better, everyone already knows the answer. Ronaldo just won't admit it to protect his ego and his loyal fans. But I want to make it clear, I'm not making this video to attack Ronaldo. I want to show how his statements about the World Cup can be harmful. We live in the age of influencers. Young players look up to their idols, and words from role models carry tremendous weight. This wasn't the best way for him to brag or diminish Messi's achievement. Notice, Piers Morgan didn't even question him. Ronaldo himself deliberately framed the statement, meaning at some point, he wanted to downplay Messi's World Cup. Now feel free to debate the responsibility of world-class players like Ronaldo, and how their negative opinions can influence the next generation of footballers in the long run. And it's not just us noticing this, players and coaches have spoken out too, including names like Klopp and Pep Guardiola. Check out the video on your screen, and I'll see you in the comments so we can continue this discussion.